Hello everyone and welcome back to my tutorial. Today we're gonna talk about this shelter, how to create it, or what the techniques you can use it, how it's working. Actually it's using, you can create it, manipulate with this really easy. For example, you're just saying where it should be for your point offset. For example, I will say that my point offset will be 0.1 and let's say okay. And what we're gonna do, as you can see, shelter is mostly closing. It's not closing because we're saying like 0.1 you should leave it, and as you can see 10% it's not closing. So how we can create kind of the shelter, we will talk about this tutorial today. Let's gonna start. Here is just an example. As you can see, three different the position of the shelter, but you can create the variable positions, not only just three. So we, as always, will start from the scratch project. I will create the new project. I will use the architecture metrical template. We don't need any parameters from the template, so just only the matter of which type the metric system you're using, the metric or imperial one. So after that, once you create it, let's go to the file, new. We will go to the conceptual mass, because everything we will create everything in conceptual mass. As you can see, I don't have the template, the conceptual mass, and Revit asking me where I should get this template. How you can switch this way? You just go to the new, go to the family, and here use the English template, and here you will find the conceptual mass. So you can just use this tricky way. Use it, and as you can see, the conceptual mass is here. First of all, we should create our main road, our main path. Only after that we will create another one. So our main path will be located on this work plane. So before we will do anything, we just should set work plane. Let's set work plane, and we will set this work plane. Let's go to the front view on the 3D, and I will close it a bit. I will use the reference line. Of course, I will use the arc, start and end. I will create the arc, and I will create it like that. So we have the arc. As you can see, it's exactly on our work plane, but it's not on the middle. It's not so matter for me, but if you are care about that, you should use the move and move this way to the middle point like this. So now it's exactly on the middle. Okay, so we did it. Now we should create our points. Let's say we will have like 5 points. Our start will be this point and our end will be this point. I will create the 5 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Once we will create it, let's create some parameter for them. Let's select this point. And here is the normalized curve parameter. I will make it a bit bigger, and this one I will prefer its place here. Okay, so normalized curve parameter is here, and let's create the new parameter, and this will be point 1. Let's leave it as a type 1. I will copy this name. Let's say okay, and let's do the same thing for this one. This one will be point number 2, as you understand, and just on and on. We'll do this fast. Okay, we're done with our points. Now it's time go to the family types, to the settings. Here is our family types. As you can see, here is all our points and some numbers. We are not caring about our parameters right now. We should create now one new parameter. This will be offset. So we will manipulate with all the parameters by this parameter. This will be like something like a main parameter. Let's call it offset. And let's leave it also the type 1. But before we'll say okay, we should change the type. As you can see, here is the type with length. It's wrong. We should change it to the number or integer. We'll find it here. We have the integer or number. We'll choose the number and say okay. And as you can see, now it's going the same position here. It means if I will use some parameter here, we can manipulate with this data too. Okay, we have our parameter. Let's say our parameter will be 0.1. So this is something like static one, and let's manipulate now with the 0.1. So what we're gonna do? we should now say we know the 1 it's the static number, 1 it means 100% closed shelter. We wanna do minus point offset. Let me write point, it's much better like that. Be careful with the naming, because if you will wrong it, Revit not will use it. As you can see, from the 100% we are subscribe the 10%, and here is going to the 0.9. Let me I will show you, apply it, and as you can see it's going here. Now it's much easiest thing, which I just should copy 0.1 and do this another thing. We should say for example, like 0.1 minus 0.1 dividing by 5, because we have the 5 point dividing by 5, so this is static one. Let's apply it, and as you can see now it's here. Now we should do almost the same thing. I will copy it, but we should change it now here 1 to the 2. Here we should change only 1 to the 3, and here 1 to the 4. Let's do like that, and as you can see we get some dividing number. I will now say apply, and let's say okay, and as you can see we divided all our numbers. But you will say, come on, where is our 0 point? So yes, we don't have the 0 point, we should create it. We starting creating from the 0.1, so I will create the 0.6, it will be better. I will do the point, it will be 6. Don't forget it also will be the number. Where's the number? It's here. And say okay. We should create this point. I will place this point, I will select it, and I will give the parameter 0.6. It's here now under the 0, but we should create the parameter for them. I will select, it always will be 0, and it will be 5. As you can see it's 0. If I will change here 0.2 for example, it will be always 0. And as you can see, our shelter starting closing from this point. So this point is like the starting point for the shelter. So we already have the working points, so it's working. As you can see, we can make some stress test like 0.8, and as you can see all it's dividing by right distance, or 0.1 again, and as you can see everything again working. So now we are ready to create another type of the line. For this work we should go to the top view. Let me go to the top view. Now we should create our planes. Here you will find it, planes, we should create it. But as you can see Revit saying, sorry, I cannot create the planes. Why I cannot create the planes? Actually because our set work plane is wrong. I will set work plane, and I will set this level 1. So we are now creating everything on the level 1. I'm going back to the top level, and now as you can see I can create my reference plane. I will create one, and I will create another one. I will use the dimension. This is overall dimension, and I will make it equal. If you want to create, for example, some static one, you should do like that. And for example, changing the dimension if you want, and you can see 6 meters, for example. So it's already only up to you. We have now 2 extra reference planes. So what we can do, pretty almost same. Again, set work plane, set this work plane, go to the front view. I will create again my arc. I will create it here, like 1 point, second point here. Again, be careful, you should now move it. Here is my middle will be here, so now it's exactly same distance. I will select it because now it's model line, and I will make it like a reference line. Now it's reference line. Okay, as you can see we get one more extra line here. The same thing on this side. I will do the same thing. Set work plane, again going to the front view. Now it's much easiest to create our line. I will go straight away reference line. Here the start end arc line, and let's create here the arc. I will create it. Okay, now we have 2 extra arcs, and now we can create the points. I will create 1 point here, 1 point here. why I'm not creating the 5 points before, I will tell you. Now I wanna just check, is it the right distance, I mean starting right distance. Here the 0.8, here is the 0.8, so now nothing wrong. If you have here something like 0.1 or 2, your arc starting the wrong side. So you just can copy it or you just can rotate it, but because if not, your points will be here, so it will be wrong. Okay, so in our case is everything alright. If you are just copying what I'm doing, I mean the stage by stage doing the same, everything will be alright also in your side. So now let me, I will place 4 extra points. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And what we will do, just one by one. Let's select this point and this point. This will be, as you understand, normal rise curve. Select it, and this will be, let's start from the end, 0.6. And now, as you can see there, let me, I will select this point and this will be number 5. Here it will be number 4. This one will be number 3. And I think this one, let me check it. If you don't have any equal here, so this is your point. Let me select, yeah, we have this V equal, so this one and this one, it's number 2. And we should create extra point, like here, 1 and 1. So let's select, this will be number 1. This will be number 1. We already have now our extra points, and so how it's working. If we will go again to the parameters, we will say here 0.5, let's apply it. As you can see, all the points going back. We will say 0.2 or for example 2, and this going back again. So now everything working, and it's time to save it. Yes, you should save it before we will manipulate with them, and let's call it like shelter. Here is the shelter. So what we can do right now? Now we can connect our points. It just it's variable. You can connect it. You cannot. It's up to you. Reference here is the start and arc and 3D snapping. And let's snap it. 1 point, another point, and last point. As you can see, I'm doing the first the sides, and only after that the middle point, because I'm using the arc. I will do the same thing here. And 2 more. And here is the mistake. So you should redo it. And last one. Why I'm doing that? I just want to show you how it's working. I will select now all these lines, and I will create the form. Here's the form. With the form, you better understand how it's working, because I know that most people understand, but I should introduce even for beginner how it's working. Here is 0.8. As you can see now, the form is here, and if I will say 0.1, my form is here. So for most of the people, this result will be pretty nice, and they will finish on this result. But we will go to the next stage. We will create the panels. Right now we can create 2 types of the panels. For example, we can use this surface, we can divide this surface, and we will get the pattern for our future panels. I think you know how to create it, or if you're interested in how to create it, let me know, but I will show you another way. I will delete this surface, and we will use another way to create our panels. But for this type, we need to create 2 more extra lines. So again, before I will go to the top view, I will set my level 1, and I will go to the top view. We need extra 2 planes. I will place it here. One it will be here, and another will be here. So I will place it. Again, I will use the dimension. Where is my dimension? it will be equal between this and equal between this. And now it's the same work like we did before. So I will set this work plane, I will go to the back view, and I will create another lines. So let me will create it and switch the 3D snapping like this. As you can see, here is a bit smaller, type the line here. So, and I will do the one more. Set work plane, set this work plane, go to the back, and the same thing. Where's my line? 1, 2, last one. And now I will select my line and I will say this line will be reference. Again, the same thing, we should place 6 points because we have 6 points. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Let me, I will start from the end. Before I will start, I will check is it right. 0.3, and here 0. Something like 0.3. So this is right. Let me, I will select this 2 point, and these 2 points will be 0. It means 0.6 is going to the start. The same thing I will do with these points. This will be point number 5. Let's say okay. For these points I will do the same thing. Be careful when you're selecting some objects. I can see it here. It's 2 objects and it's reference object. So, and that's why I'm really careful about that. Here's the point number 4. The same thing here. It's the point number 3. 2 more. Here is the point number 2. And the last one, it will be point number 1. The point number 1. So now we are ready to create our panels. Let me, I will create our panels. This will be much interesting than with just using the surface. To create our panels, we will go to the file, new, we need to use the family, and we need the template adaptive family. Where is the adaptive? Here is the model adaptive. It really will be simple family. We will create in a few seconds. Just 3 points, 1, 2, 3, select these all points, make it adaptive, go to the reference line, don't forget 3D snapping and snap it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Done. Select these lines and create the surface. I will just create the flat one. Done. Now let's load it inside to our project. Where is our shelter? This one. Let me load it inside there, and as you can see, now we are ready to place our panels. How it will be work? Actually pretty easy, but I think we have something wrong. Let me, I will check. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. We get something wrong. Let me, I will show you. As you can see, here is the point number 6. It's here. But our extra one, it's here the point not number 6. Here is the point number 1. And that's why I'm saying it's sometimes painful. Let me, I will select it. This one, point number 6. And what we get? Our point number 6 going to back. Not here, going to back. And this is the problem when you're creating kind of this lines. That's why I'm saying you should be careful. I will delete now these lines, and this, of course I should delete these points too. Yeah, it's painful work, but the result is awesome. I will delete it, and I will create one more time. I will select this point. I will go to the front view right now, and I will create again the reference arc without 3D snapping. On, off. 1, 2, 3. And before I will do some manipulation with that, I will just place the 1 point, and let me see. Here is the 0.6. Again, this is wrong, because as you can see here we have the 0. Or not. Oh no, it's not wrong. Let me, I will make it 0.6, and now everything alright. That's why I think this is painful. Let me, I will try with that thing. I will go now to the front. Reference arc. and let's create the new one. Let's place the point. It should be around the 0. And yes, this is around the 0. So let me will redo. It's really fast. You just should place again the points and give them parameter. So as you can see, I did it. And now we are ready finally to place our panels. I will go to the create. We already have our panels, and what we're gonna do, just 1, 2, 3. I'm placing exactly on the point. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I will finish one and I will show you what we get. Exactly on the point. So here is our first panel. Another panel we should create with the same principle. 1, 2, and 3. So I'm just on and on, just creating these panels. This is my type, the panels, that's why I wanna see it like that. You can create your own panels and creating like as you want. So let me will finish this one. And as you can see, we get our panels. So let me will finish all the way. You just create by I did it, just 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2, 3. So the same way. So we done that. Here is your result. Sometimes it can be some funny result like that, but you should be careful. So everything I think alright. So everything, yeah, everything alright. So and let's test it. So it's time to test. Now you should go back to the your parameters, family types, and let's say here's the 𝒕𝒉𝒊𝒔 offset. So it means we will offset till the middle one. Let's say okay, and as you can see, it's offset working. Now till middle one. Let's say even the stress test, as I said, 0.8. And as you can see, perfectly working. You can, for example, hide everything till only the generic model lives, for example, like this, and just double HH, it's temporary height. And let's check it one more time to the 0.2. Let's say okay. And as you can see, it's working. So by just this simple way, you can create this shelter, this simple techniques, but you saving really much work. I think you will find a lot of different ways how you can create the different shelters. Just combine all the tutorials I have in my channel, how you can create adaptive families, combine all this knowledge, and you will create really nice shelters or something else. You will get the really great result. Thank you guys for watching. For this tutorial is finished. See you next time.